Our world is full of many different languages. Old, new, global, local, logographic, alphabetic, alive and kicking, and totally extinct. There are about 200 countries in the world, but linguists estimate that there are as many as 7,000 languages. So, why are there so many languages? We can use modern linguistics, psychology, and even biology to derive three main reasons: geographic isolation, cultural and political forces, and evolution over time. Importantly, these factors are interrelated. They all happen at the same time and influence each other to create new languages. In the case of geographic isolation, physical barriers can create language barriers. Throughout history, humans have moved around, searching for safety and resources. As they migrated to new areas, they carried their languages with them. Groups of people that shared a single language and culture often split into smaller tribes. As they migrated and settled in new places, they became isolated from one another and developed in different ways. Centuries of living in different conditions, eating different food, and encountering different neighbors turned similar dialects with varied pronunciation and vocabulary into radically different languages, continuing to divide as populations grew and spread out further. When groups settled in new regions, their languages often interacted with existing ones, leading to linguistic exchanges and even the emergence of new languages. This process has happened hundreds of times across the globe over the course of history. Cultural and political factors can cause languages to diverge too. Cultural identity is deeply intertwined with the language used by a group of people. Some cultures grow, adapt elements from other people groups, and evolve. As a result, the language they use may change to fit their evolving culture.
Many of the most widely spoken languages in Africa are descended from an ethno-linguistic group known as the Bantu. Modern-day Swahili, Lingala, and Zulu are the results of Bantu expansion across Central and Southern Africa. While the Bantu displaced or assimilated other people groups, their cultural influence, such as their innovations in the practice of agriculture and ironwork, caused their language to form the linguistic foundation for nearly 1/3 of African speakers.
Additionally, political factors, such as colonization and conquest, have historically influenced language dynamics. Modern-day Spanish, French, Italian, and even Romanian are all descended from Latin, which was spoken throughout the Roman Empire as they conquered these territories. Similar events have happened across the world, influencing language families and writing systems in the Americas, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The effects of these empires can be seen today, as many countries use imperial writing systems, speak colonial languages alongside their indigenous tongues, or mix the two to create new Creole languages. There's one key element that binds all these factors together: evolution over time. Just like how biological organisms have evolved over millions of years, languages evolve too. But instead of changes to DNA, we can observe changes to words. New words are coined to describe emerging concepts or inventions, while older terms fall into disuse.
This can happen slowly over hundreds of years, but it can also happen quickly over just a few generations too. You can probably see this happening today. Consider some of the ways that your grandparents talk that sound old-fashioned to you, or some of the words that you use that your grandparents wouldn't understand.
Other words morph into new meanings as society evolves around them. Take, for example, this word from the Slavic Czech language.
Robota.
100 years ago, this meant something like forced labor or servitude. But as technology evolved, people started applying it to the machines that did menial work for them, eventually giving us the word robot today. In this way, languages evolved to fit a social and cultural niche, just like species evolved to fit an ecological niche. Like evolutionary biologists, modern linguists try to map this process by tracing multiple languages back as far as they can to their common ancestor, or proto-language. What's harder, of course, is predicting how languages will evolve in the future. So, why are there so many languages? The intertwining factors of geographic isolation, cultural and political forces, and evolution over time cause languages to change and diverge more quickly than you might expect. In other words, there are so many languages because there have been so many people who offer unique perspectives to looking at our world.